Okay. This is what happens is, okay, Harley and the guy splits up, and she goes and lives with her grandparents, and he's still living in the house that they lived at. She left her car, she left, a bunch of her belongings still, because pretty much everything in the house was hers or her grandparents. Like, that's just how it was. And she was being kind and being like, okay, we can leave this, because we didn't have anywhere to put it at the time, and all of that. So, this is what happens. Harley texts him late one night. I think it was after he got off work or something like that. And she began to talk to him, and then he tells her he has a friend that's moving in. And of course Harley's like, okay, it's one of his guy friends or whatever. Don't know how they're gonna do that. Somebody's gonna sleep on the couch and somebody's gonna sleep in the bed, or they both gonna sleep in the bed. So I don't know. Anyway, that's just what she was thinking, because it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. It was, anyways, back to what I'm trying to say. So she asked, she's like, oh, or I think she says, oh, okay. And then she was gonna ask, is it a boy or a girl that's moving in? And of course he's like, it's a girl. Like, before she even asked, because he said, before you even think anything, it's a girl. We're just friends, and she's getting mistreated at home or something like that. And, blows Harley's mind. Was like, what? This is not the ex that you're hung up on? Like, what? It's somebody else?
Oh.
So Harley gets freaking pissed.
Oh.
And she starts asking, okay, what's her name? And he tells her. And you know how he says, oh, they're just friends. And she goes on her Facebook, and it says, in a relationship. They were already friends on Facebook. Not her, but him and her were. The girl that I'm talking about.
No.
And Harley just, sees red, and she starts mouthing off and was so pissed off. And she was like, oh, well, this is funny because it says she's in a relationship with you, or in a relationship. I can't really remember. But whereas Harley gets pissed, and she's like, okay, well, I'll be there so and such time to get the rest of my stuff. And of course he's like, no, you don't have to do that. And he didn't want his family knowing at all about what was going on. And Harley was like, oh, well, if you're going to humiliate me, then I'm going to humiliate the hell out of you, because nobody's going to do her wrong and not suffer consequences. That's just what Harley believes. So, she decides that she's going to tell everybody pretty much that would listen of what was going on and how a piece of shit that he was, and blah blah blah. And it was just a messed up situation. Like, she holds no grudges against him at all, but she doesn't like him, never really liked him like that. She just, it was a friends with benefits type thing, and she had respect for him, let's just say that. And to be done that way, it just really pissed her off, because when she got back to the house that they lived at, all she saw was that the girl had already moved in, and they were, it was like she was replaced. Like, her child stuff was still there. Like, there was no denying that the girl didn't know that, they still lived there. And that's what, like, pissed her off so bad. And she was like, alright. And she does. She gets everything. Everything. Because everything pretty much belonged to her or her grandparents. Like the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator, the couches. All of that stuff. And, like, he got pissed because she kind of did trash the house, but, like, all she could see was her stuff was still in there with the other girls. And, the girl had pictures of herself in the house, and it was like, what the hell, Like, Harley left him her car so that he could drive her car, which is, wasn't a great car, but she left it for him because it was cheaper on gas so that he could drive it back and forth to work. And he had done that to her, and she was going to get even, and she did. She humiliated him. But, like, she just did not understand, like, why he wanted to be the father figure to her child, for so long, and then just up and, oh, no, I don't. I don't know. But everything worked out for the better. Harley, met the love of her life right after all of that happened. Of course, she was drunk at the time that she met him, but she met him. And she no longer has to drink and be somebody that she's not. All of that. But I mean, she did try to let the guy, if he wanted to be her father, to be around her. But, like, it just... Harley was not mature enough to do that. Because all she felt was rejection. And it's like, she didn't understand how she could be done that way, in that manner. Now, breaking up with her, that was different. But, like, replacing her with somebody else, like the ex had done so many times, it was like the same cycle. Because she knew that he did not love her like that and was never going to be in love with her like that. But she felt like they were close enough friends that he would not humiliate her like that. But he had already done that before with his ex. But Harley, had respect for him and his ex. Like, when they got back together, when she was left out in the dirt, like she was a whore or something. She didn't know. I mean, she just slept with guys on the weekends or something. Like, that's all she did. It's like party, drink, sleep around. That was how it went. But yet she was called a whore by a lot of people because everybody else did that, but she wasn't supposed to do that. Anyways, all of the story, let's just say, don't stay in a relationship just because it's comfortable. Don't stay in a relationship just because, you get along. You got to have those feelings. And there just wasn't between the two of them, and it all ended in disaster. But it's all good now, and that's the rest of that story.